You marry, let's process. You
Okay.
marry the person's nervous system.
Nervous
So
system.
I marry somebody.
Okay.
I am I am marrying their nervous system.
Uh-huh. Got it.
Hmm.
So, should I keep going?
Yeah, because okay, let's do this. How do
Okay.
we how do we define their nervous system?
Okay. Let me start by saying this. Our nobody's perfect. And we all want to get to a calm nervous system or to at least know how to regulate our nervous system
Yep.
when we know we're not emotionally regulated. That's really the key point because we're never going to be perfect all the time. We're never going to be whole all the time. When you hear all this mumbo jumbo about how we have to be completely whole before we meet our person and we have to be, fixed and that's never going to happen. We're human beings. We're constantly ebbing and flowing, and evolving and making mistakes and growing. However,
Hmm.
if you are a person who is willing to and consistent in self development and willing to be honest with yourself and willing to say, okay, here are some things that I'm seeing a pattern in myself and I'm realizing it's from my past and from my childhood, and I want to take care of that and I want to be consistent with it. Maybe sometimes I won't be consistent with it, and I won't be perfect at it, right? But I'm calling it, I'm claiming it, I'm naming it. I want to work on this. That's someone you want to get into a relationship with. That's someone that whose nervous system isn't going to be perfect, but realizes that their nervous system might, is in an anxious, sympathetic fight or flight, typically, and we want to get to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calm. If you have the tools and the awareness, and you're in a place where, oh my gosh, I'm in an anxious state right now. This person's triggered me, or this situation's triggered me, and you can pause and emotionally regulate. That's really the first. That the awareness is the first, and the second is let's emotionally regulate. And there are many ways to do that. So that's a good start.
So just speaking from experience,
Okay.
just because you connect with someone and
Yep.
they seem like they're even keel and everything's
Yeah.
good and it just seems like, and there those things that you mentioned before, abandonment issues and all of that, they're very real, and I want to say you probably hit the top five or top three,
Right.
so spot on there. But if
Sure.
you meet somebody and your vibe is, they seem like they got it together,
Yeah.
doesn't always mean they do.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's other stuff going on that they may have not worked through,
Sure.
childhood traumas, all of that. But I guess step one is, you know,
Right.
like, for example, if you meet somebody and you hit it off and it's like looking pretty good, like this is all right, but they have tons of anxiety,
Sure.
or there's other things that present immediately,
Yeah.
you can use your filter and say, I don't know if this is the best for me, as opposed to
Right.
jumping into it.
Very good point. And here's what I would say to that. Communication is key in any relationship. Huge, right?
Mm.
And we can get into the dating world and meet somebody like you said and get to a certain point and we're seeing all this. Um, I think it's very important to like I said, just communicate to them, hey, look, self-development's really important to me. It's something I value very much. And my personal past is this, and I've had to work on this, and I'm not 100% consistent with it, but I'm willing to be consistent with it and to not give up on it because I do want to have a healthy relationship with myself because the most important relationship you can have is the one with yourself.
Hmm.
And if you don't start there, the other relationships just won't flourish or be healthy. So um, back to you. If you're not in a state of willing to have self-development and understand what emotional regulation is, are you willing to do that? Right? If they're not in that place, ask them, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to be consistent with that? Because I like you, like we talked about before, and I think this could go somewhere and I see potential. And however, I think I value this. I value, my well-being and my self-development, and I'm looking for someone. My standards are, I'm looking for someone who's willing to, or is in that same place, or willing to be in that same place, right?
Isn't it
So,
isn't it a beautiful thing that once you start doing, cliche but true, the work on yourself,
yeah,
finding who you are, loving yourself, really making that connection that automatically the things around you, here we go, filter, start filtering in. Like
Yes.
you see what you'll accept and the things that you won't accept,
Right.
but you never knew that was even possible or that wasn't even on your radar un,
Yep.
until you start having a better sense of self.
Hi, it's
Exactly.
Tiffany,
Yeah.
Coach Tiffany. I just wanted to say hello and thank you to all of my subscribers out there. Thank you for subscribing, and don't forget to hit the like button. It really means a lot and I appreciate your support. Also, if there's anything that you want me to cover or create in any kind of content, please feel free to go ahead and comment below. Thanks again. Have a great day.